Welcome to day 21 of our 30-day insurance and risk management vlog. I'm Matthew, Struck with Treadstone Risk Management, and today we're talking about post-incident investigations. Now, earlier on in the series, we talked about post-accident investigations with respect to workers' comp injuries or on-the-job injuries. These post-incident investigations have to do with the liability side of the house. So slips and falls on your property, someone alleges that one of your workers or you damaged their property, and those allegations can end up resulting in a lawsuit. This is going to be an investigative process that happens after those incidents come to your attention to kind of help you document and protect yourself. A lot of companies and a lot of organizations, for that matter, end up facing a lot of claims that come into them, and they result in a he said, she said kind of situation if it comes to an actual lawsuit. And part of the reason is because they didn't properly document or do an investigation after the incident was brought to their attention. So this is going to give you some kind of backup, some kind of documentation to help protect yourselves in the event that a lawsuit is filed against you for some form of negligence, and provide some information surrounding that incident to help you push back against those allegations. All right, so what are some of the benefits of a good post-incident investigation program? So the first is that you're going to save money. These money savings isn't necessarily something that's going to be immediately apparent to you, but anytime that you have a lawsuit that you're able to either get thrown out or effectively defend against, you're going to save yourself legal expenses, and you may even save yourself the damages that would have resulted if you didn't have enough documentation to defend yourself properly. It's also going to give you an opportunity to do on-site analysis whenever an incident happens. It's also a good follow-through process to allow the results of the incident investigation to guide you on maybe things that need to change within your organization, whether it be how you maintain your premises or your facilities, how you operate. So the results of these investigations should be passed along to anyone who needs to look at them to figure out whether or not your day-to-day operations or your setup has to change. It also begins the claims handling process and allows the defense of this claim to happen before a lawsuit's even filed. So if you get notice or one of your employees says, hey, you know that so-and-so like slipped on the lawn yesterday or something, and you start doing your investigative process, and you inform your insurance company, inform your broker or your attorney, and provide them with the information that's gathered from this investigative process, it actually allows them to put the pieces in place ahead of time to defend against this if it ends up resulting in a legal claim. A perfect example is some kind of allegation of a very complex situation. Your defense attorney might actually be able to send letters in order to fend off a lawsuit beforehand, or they can also request you do certain things or collect certain information beyond just your normal investigation to help supplement their defense if this claim ever sees the light of a court. All right, some best practices. So first of all, start with a template, but then tailor it to your organizational needs. So depending on what your operations are, where you are, what your location of business is, make sure to take those into account when you're kind of changing around that template to fit your needs. Include your risk management professional and your attorney in the crafting of whatever post-incident investigation document or report is being filled out, because they'll be able to give you ideas on additional information that should be collected right then and there after the incident. Designate a single person, whether it be a supervisor that oversees all of your locations, to go out and do these investigations, or at the very least there should be one point person at each location that you operate in that is responsible for performing these investigations and documentation. Also, make sure that you collect certain information within your investigation report. And so those are going to be things like the date, time, and location. It's going to be names and contact information for individuals that were involved. It should look at things like the weather conditions at the time of the event. It should afford the area for someone to document the condition of the premises or the area surrounding the location of the event when it happened. It should document the sequence of events that led up to the incident, because a lot of times those dominoes that fell before something actually happened could really divulge some important information either in defending yourself or in fixing this in the future. Also, make sure that the names and contact information of witnesses are collected, and as best possible, if feasible, you should also get just a general statement or idea of what the witnesses saw and what their take on it was when things happened. You might also want to track the names of folks that were notified of the event and what the chain of communication was. This is particularly important when there's allegations of someone not attending to an issue quickly enough, or getting emergency services there or something along that line. Make sure that you know what the communication chain was following the incident, internally, as well as who was contacted outside of your organization to document that communication plan. All right, take photographs, especially when the incidents surround a certain premises that you operate at or allege some kind of unsafe condition. Take photographic evidence, and the sooner after the incident that you can do it, the better, because it is going to better capture what the state of that premises was when the incident happened. All too often, I have clients that get notified of an incident and they don't do anything until 3 months later when they receive the lawsuit, and then they send someone out to go look at the premises. And for instance, if it was an allegation that a curb was improperly maintained or a sidewalk had a really bad dip in it or something, you're going to go out and you're going to take pictures 3 months after the fact, but in a court, they're going to ask you what date the pictures were taken on. And, if it's 3 months after the fact, they're going to allege that, oh, well, you fixed it in between then and when you took the picture, or, that wasn't the state of it when this thing happened. So you always have to try and do it as quickly as possible after. And make sure to take pictures of the surrounding area as well, just in case there are some other factors that might contribute to, how the incident transpired. Use technology to help you. So there's actually a lot of apps, and most people have a smartphone nowadays and software packages that you can use to help document and catalog photos or information that's taken as a result of the investigative process, and in a nice orderly way, keep those records on file, so that, like I said, if you do end up getting a claim months after the fact, you have a well documented and orderly, maintained investigation in your files. All right, so that's all I have on this. Simple enough, right? So talking about post-incident investigations. This is Matthew Struck for Treadstone Risk Management. Hopefully you're getting a lot out of this. Again, as I always say, please subscribe, hit like, share, comment, ask us questions, and give us feedback on the information. We want to hear from you, and we'll see you on day 22.